Netflix took two Oscar winners and put them in the unbelievable true story called The Good Nurse. It stars Eddie Redmayne and Jessica Chastain. But does the story deliver? Suspicious that her colleague is responsible for a series of mysterious patient deaths, a nurse risks her own life to uncover the truth. So this is crazy that it's based on a true story. We have Jessica Chastain, who plays a nurse named Amy, and Eddie Redmayne plays another nurse named Charlie. Now, Charlie's a new guy in the ICU ward where Amy works, and after giving him the tour and just a lowdown on how things in their ICU work, a friendship begins. But soon after, some unexpected deaths happen in the ICU, leading to an investigation where two detectives just won't back down, despite trying to be dissuaded by the hospital administration. The movie opens with an incredibly slow shot. We watch Charlie walk into a patient room where someone's having a seizure, and as the staff begins to just try and save the life, the camera is slowly zooming in. I mean, it's like a snail's pace, but it's very effective at creating a sense of sadness and dread, even though we don't know at the moment why exactly. Now, the movie's just over 2 hours long, and I do think it's a tiny bit long for the story that they're telling, but it is really effective at setting the stage and getting us invested in both Charlie and Amy. So when things start to go sideways and then suspicions arise, we got a really good handle on both characters, and I was completely hooked on the story. Jessica Chastain is wonderful in her performance. There are some instances where the character is struggling with her health, and in these times, I really felt what she was going through. The camera doesn't pull off her as she's experiencing difficulties, like maybe she'll be gasping for air or trying to maintain some sort of balance. Chastain is extremely convincing in what she's feeling, and I was concerned for the character because of how natural she came across. Eddie Redmayne is quiet and a bit unnerving. Now, he's kind of stuttering at times, which I also feel like he's been like this in several of his other performances. Like he's just missing a bit of confidence, or maybe he's trying to appear like he's shy and meek. I mean, it's a bit weird in this, but it works to make him very unassuming and mostly innocent with just a tiny sketchy side to him. And Redmayne plays Charlie with such calm and collectedness that his even-keeled temperament, it can be frightening. Now, I was never sure if he was like this spring that was just wound too tightly, or if he was just devoid of anger. I mean, he feels like nothing bothers him or upsets him in a way that would really make him have an outburst. And that coolness helps in huge ways to establish some dread at key moments. I enjoyed their dynamic together as they showcased some good chemistry. We watched them not only interact inside the hospital, but outside as well, giving us a look at their growing friendship. And I love how this sets up doubt and hesitation on Amy's part. When ideas are floated to her that maybe Charlie had something to do with the unexpected deaths, she's quick to defend her friend, and then I also appreciate how the story introduces plausibilities that create even more doubt within his culpability. In addition to the two leads, the story follows two detectives that are investigating the death, played by Nnamdi Asomugha and Noah Emmerich as Baldwin and Braun, respectively. Now, I enjoyed seeing their dynamic in the face of mounting frustration at just all the obstacles that they're put up against just to begin an investigation. And then when things come to light, it's incredibly disgusting at all that went down on the side of the hospital. And there are some very pointed moments involving the detectives where they get to voice their anger in a way that was just satisfyingly abrupt. There's a moment also that Redmayne gets where he is terrifying in what he gives to the camera. It's an intensity that builds and then it explodes. There's a compulsive factor to what he does. I mean, it was just unnerving to watch. I think what's most horrifying about this entire movie is that it's based on true events. The end gives us some title cards that fill us in on the details following what's shown in the movie. But still, I mean, just the idea of what happened and then what was allowed to continue is just about unbelievable. Now, the resolution of this may frustrate you with a lack of clear motive for what happens, but I appreciate that that's how it went in real life, so the story didn't try to fabricate some ending for us to just make it all nicely wrapped up. This is a frustrating story, but it does have a decisive conclusion. I was a bit surprised at how engaging this became, and not because the actors aren't phenomenal, because they are, but I just didn't know what to expect, and I loved how much story tension was able to be created. There are some situations between Amy and Charlie that feel like they could be devastating. The looks between them that both hold back what they're really feeling. I mean, there's palpable stress, and it's exciting to watch. If you like true crime, you may already be familiar with this case, but it's awesome and sad to watch it play out in such a convincing way with some amazing actors. So overall, The Good Nurse is a harrowing account of unaccountability and the strength and courage of someone to take a risk and do what's right. Both Jessica Chastain and Eddie Redmayne deliver performances that are natural and engrossing. And while it is a little long, the story content is heartbreaking, but also captivating in its execution. There's no sex, some brief nudity, a lot of profanity, and descriptions of violence. I give The Good Nurse 4 out of 5 couches. Are you a fan of Jessica Chastain? Do you have a favorite performance of hers? I mean, I really loved her in Molly's Game, but there are a bunch where she's just awesome. So let me know one of your favorites in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.